All right, hi everybody. I'm Venus. I want to do YouTube because I've heard a lot of good things about YouTube, and then I also see a lot of good things about YouTube that I like, and I can't wait to see where YouTube take me to. Um, I want to talk about my life. My love is hair. I love hair. I love all things hair, anything hair, willing to try to do, create, maintain, just anything that's related to hair. I just think hair is every woman's platform to show her beauty. So if your hair ain't done, you don't feel good. If your hair is done, you feel great. You can have on the ugliest outfit, but if you know your hair looks good, then you feel great. So I think that's a really strong career to be in because you touch the lives of so many people and you make so many people look pretty and you make so many people feel pretty and sometimes you help people show that they are pretty. Like some people don't even know that they're pretty because they've been told their whole life that they're ugly. So um, I'm just coming to YouTube because I think it's gonna be fun. I want to show everybody what I know, the tricks to the trades that I know, techniques, just my creativity. I am really big person on creativity. I like to make old things new again. I like to make things that simple look so in a whole new light, just like shine a whole new light on it. I just like doing little stuff like that. I like taking the French braid and braids and buns and pin curls and whatever you could think of and create something new out of it so that trends keep turning over. That's what makes trends turn over is new stuff. So I just am excited to do YouTube. I'm excited to bring a bunch of stuff that I know and I've learned it over the years. I've been in the career, this has been my career for 20 years, 20 plus years really. And I've learned so much and I've come a very long way. And I took a short break for a little while. I got sick, but I'm back in the game and ready to hit the ground running. So this is my beginning of coming back because this YouTube wasn't even heard of when I came out of school in 98, and started my career and got it going in 99 and just moving from salon to salon and just meeting new people and stuff, like just so much to talk about and so much experience to talk about. And I'm excited to bring that to everybody because I don't just want to be like, no, you shouldn't do that. No, you shouldn't do that. You should do whatever you feel that you makes your creativity work. You should do whatever you feel that's your blessing that God is giving you. And this is mostly going to be geared towards salons, mostly professionals. But if you do hair and you're interested, then you come on in and subscribe too because you're going to learn some stuff too that you're going to probably take into your career and the rest of your life with your career. So if it's be 5 years or 20 years, you take whatever that I have, you take it with you. And I'm sure there's plenty of other people out there that have things that you can take and pick up and trades to take along with you on career that creates and make you who you are. So I know I see a lot of YouTube channels with people doing hair and people that they don't have their license. So that's the first thing. If you're making really good money and you're not licensed, then guess how much money you're missing out on. You're missing out on a lot of money. So you need to really find a way to get in school, get your license. That way you can earn the right amount of living that you're supposed to be making in this business. Because if you don't have your license, a lot of time people will be like, they'll try to like negotiate everything. They try to, oh, if I can get her to give his hairstyle to me for $20, it's not cool because you still got to feed your family and stuff too. But when you don't have your license, then sometimes it is what it is. You got to always be a little bit more hardcore than you are if you have your license and you can just say, here's the price list, pick what you want, and let's get the service started. So That's the only thing. I do encourage you to get your license and get everything. Don't just go in there and go to cosmetology school. Go in there and get your license, get your independent contractor's license, get your managers, get everything. Because I went to school, got my cosmetology license, came out, and then one day, state board popped up on us and told us, we had to close because there was not a manager in the salon at the time, and that there had to always be a manager in the salon in order for the doors to be open, which we knew that. But she stepped away to go to daycare and pick up her kid. We didn't think that would be a big deal, which we learned later it wasn't, as long as she was coming back to the salon, but they didn't know and wasn't sure, so they made us shut the doors. So after we shut the doors, and I was like, man, I had clients coming. We had to wait for her. It took her a while. And when she came back, we were all like waiting outside and stuff. I thought it was so unprofessional. So the next day I called and figured out what I needed to do to get my managers. So I went back and I got my managers. And then after I got my managers, I learned that you had to have independent contractors, or you had to have your independent contractors. And I don't remember if I had to go back to school to get that, but I went back and I got my independent. I think I had to do 2 extra weeks or something while I was getting my managers to get my independent contractors. So I went ahead and did all of it. Went ahead and did all of it, got all of it. And the next day, I'm telling you, 20 years, I got stories to tell. The next day, we ended up having to shut the doors again, and I was able to say, no, my license is on its way. I've already tested. I have my managers. I'm just waiting on things in the mail, and they were able to allow us to stay open because I went and got my managers, and they were like, okay, so you need to post them up, and as soon as you get them, and they let us open the doors and stay open. So that was a blessing. I was glad that I went ahead and did that, because that would have been round 2 of state board shutting us down. So I had to learn the hard way, but we figured it out, and I made sure I got all the credentials I needed to make sure that will never happen to me and my clients again. No matter if, or other stylists that's in the salon with me, I would never want that to happen. The doors have to shut and the clients have to sit. So it just looks so unprofessional, and it's just a terrible encounter to go through. And just so that never happens to you, make sure you have all your credentials. Make sure you have your managers, your cosmetology, your independent contractor, even though I know laws and rules change all the time, but as long as you got all your stuff covered, you're good. You don't have anything to worry about. And then just getting back on track. I know that took a lot, but I wanted to say that because it's important, because I used to do hair at home for a long time when I was young. And when I turned 18, this girl, she told me, like, you need to get your license. And so I was like, I ain't never thought about it. So I looked into it and I got my license. I'm glad I did. So I've been in this business for a long, long time. I'm 44 and I was 18 when I started school. So been doing it a while. And I also want to cover, like, I've been seeing people doing a lot of stuff. I'm not saying that you're not professional, but if you're using your products and stuff, and your combs and your brushes and all that stuff, you want to make sure that you're being professional on every level. And so when I say on every level, just like with supplies, make sure you're stocked. Sometimes things come up, people might want a style that you're not ready for. That happens sometimes. But for the most part, you don't want a client to come and get their hair done and you don't have shampoo and conditioner. Like, that's a given. You have to have shampoo and conditioner. You should never do a dirty head of hair, no day. Even if they come from home already shampooed, it's a clean head of hair. You should never do a head that's not been cleaned and sanitized of any dirts and oils and product, and just, you never know what you're putting your hands in sometimes. You need to examine your clients and always look at them, because they can be coming to you with lice or anything. You have to make sure that you're professional when it comes to your customers' heads and your sanitation and all that stuff. It's so important, and that's what a lot of my YouTube stories are going to be about, just like combs and brushes. Like, I've noticed, I've seen a few people take their comb and stick it in their teeth. When they're braiding hair, they do this. Or they hold it in their teeth like that. You cannot, because you don't know what you combing. Some people have, dandruff. They have other things in their scalp and in their hair and conditions and stuff. You don't want put that in your mouth. You don't want that in your mouth. I don't want somebody to comb in my hair after they done put their comb in their mouth, take it out and then comb in my hair with their saliva on the, so that's just something that, I want to cover with people so that people don't do that. It's not sanitary. It's not safe for you because you never know what's going to be on your comb. And it's not professional. It's not a professional thing to do. So when you go to hair school, they cover all that stuff. So you learn how to keep your comb in your hand, never to put it down. It never touches the table. It should never go in your pocket. Definitely never in your hair. A lot of people like to stick their combs in their hair while they braiding or whatever. And then, do the next braid and stick it back in their hair. No, you can't do that because whatever is in that customer's head that maybe you didn't see or overlooked, you may now have it in your head because you done stuck that comb in your head and then you share it right back with your customer and it's not a good thing. It's not sanitary and it's not okay to do that. You shouldn't be doing that. I also see people with clips. They do the same thing with clips. I see people clip them on their shirt, take it off their shirt, clip it in their hair, and then clip it on their shirt. And then the next customer sit down, and that same clip is clipped on them, and they start the next customer, and they take that clip and clip it in the next customer's head. And they do that all day long, doing hair all day long. It's that same clip, parting and shaping and doing stuff with that clip. It's just as dirty as your comb was. Once you touch a client, that clip should never go in the next customer's head. That clip should go into your Barbicide jar here that I'm going to fill in a video and show you guys how we need to have Barbicide on our tables. And that's just to sanitize our combs and stuff. I like to wash my combs out first, which is you're supposed to wash your combs out first and then dip them in the Barbicide, let it sit for a certain amount of time, and then you take those combs out and then you leave them on a towel, leave them to dry, or rinse them off and then leave them on the towel, leave them to dry. And then you just make sure that they're clean and free of anything that may have gotten by you or whatever, and then you put them away in your comb drawer, or your comb basket, or whatever you use. But just that's important. That is one of the biggest important things. And a lot of people don't put brushes in Barbicide, but Barbicide kills so much stuff. So you want to at least immerse your brushes in. Even if it's not in your comb jar, you get a little bucket, a plastic bucket, and you lay your brushes in and let that Barbicide get in those brushes and clean them, so that when you go to the next customer or the next client, your brushes are clean and free of any, nastiness that maybe have gotten by you that your eye didn't catch or whatever. But, now you're dealing with a clean brush, and that the next person is confident and comfortable with you. They know that you clean your stuff. So you want to make sure that you're cleaning your brushes, cleaning your combs, your clippies. And another thing that I see a lot of people do is I never see people wipe or clean their scissors. So you should always keep alcohol or something. I keep alcohol hanging on the side of my table here. And if I'm cutting someone's hair and I know that I'm done, I will wipe them down with alcohol and sit them in like a little jar. And then at the end of the night, I'll go through and make sure everything is clean and free of any hair, anything that may be left behind on them. I make sure everything is clean, and then I put them away in my drawer or whatever for the next time I need to use them or whatever. And even if I do weaves or wigs or whatever, I make sure that I clean, because your scissors are important to you. You use them a lot of the time for just about all your services, whether you're clipping ends or cutting the track, However, I like to use separate pairs of scissors for my weaves and tracks, and then I use my really good shears for shortcuts and haircuts and stuff like that. But you know, for those who just feel like shears are shears and they use it for everything, you still want to make sure you're cleaning them and making sure that there's nothing left behind that you overlook, dandruff, or like I said, people have lice, people carry bacteria in their hair, people carry all kinds of stuff. So you want to make sure you're cleaning all those items after each use, after each person. It seems like it's a lot of work, but really it's not. It's for your safety, for your customer safety. And then you don't want your customers leaving and calling you and saying, hey, I think I might have got lice at your shop. That's not a good look at all, because everything reflects on you and your business. Even if you work in a studio, whether you work in a loft, whether you work at home, whether you work wherever, your clients come to you because they feel like, you know, you're pretty much on your game. And so you want to make sure you are on your game and that customers will be happy before, in the middle, at the end of their service, and that they're really happy and willing to return to you to continue that service. And that's how you build, you know, your clientele and customers, because they will tell their friends and their loved ones about you that, you know, oh, she was so clean, she was so neat. I watched her wipe down everything. I watched her put away the combs and brushes. If she dropped one, she didn't pick it up and use it. You know, that stuff is important to people, even though you don't really talk about it a lot. But when people talk about you, they're going to talk about you. So you want to make sure they see you on your A game when it comes to cleanliness with your combs, your brushes, your clippies, you know, anything that you're going to be using for your service on your customers. You want to make sure everything is clean and sanitized. So a lot of times people don't think about chairs. You need to be wiping your chairs down. Sometimes people come in mini skirts and short skirts and they sit down, and you never know what people have in their personal life going on. You don't know what's going on with a person's hygiene. You never know. So you want to make sure that you wiping that chair down. Alcohol, spray it down, and it's not offensive to anybody. It's what you do. You clean up behind yourself. You cut somebody's hair in that chair. You need to wipe that chair down, wipe all those little hairs off, because the next person don't want to sit down and feel like they're getting poked by somebody else's hair. So you want to be making sure you're wiping your chair down, keeping all that all wiped down. Your dryer chairs is another chair that people sit on, touch, the armrest, the handles. You know, most people just think about, oh, I'm just going to use the hood and put over the customer's head and let their hair dry. Yeah, but they still had to sit. You know, some people wear those little skirts again, and they have to sit down, and they're welcome to sit, but you should still be sanitizing and cleaning. When you go to get your customer, you should have your alcohol and your towel ready, and you should wipe that down. As soon as they stand up to walk away, you send them onto the chair. You clean that station. You put the shampoo bottles away, screw the lid on. You know, you do it in a professional manner. You look like you're straightening up that station, so the next person, when they come along, is clean and it looks good, and they're warm and welcome to sit down and feel comfortable doing so. So that's why it's important to keep your chairs wiped down. And then a lot of people don't do that with the waiting area. I don't do that with the waiting area because it's the waiting area. But you still have to clean your waiting area. So use a chair that you don't mind at the end of the night, taking a cloth and wiping those chairs down as well, because people eat and, you know, they do things and stuff. You want it to be clean and sanitized for them. So you want to make sure at the end of the night, you're wiping down your lobby and your chairs and your tables and all that stuff. And just make sure everything looks clean and good and ready for the next day at the end of your night. So when you come in the morning, it is such a nice walk-in, warm feeling when you walk into the salon and it's clean and it's all ready to go, and the floor looks good, the cabinets are all straightened up, and the towels are all folded. It just feels so good when you walk in there. I can't tell you how many mornings I've had to go in at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning because I've had a customer that had to be to the news station or had to be at a photo shoot or had to be somewhere at a specific time. And you know, if you don't do it that night when you come in the morning, you have to do it. It is unprofessional, first of all, for the customer to see it in its worst and dirty state, and then second of all, to have to clean it before you can start your morning, because don't nobody want to sit in a dirty chair and you got leftover hair on the floor from the night before where you just didn't feel like sweeping it up and so you left it. You just can't do it. You have to clean up before yourself, after yourself, at the end of the night, so that when you come in the next day, you're ready to rock and roll, and there's no hurdles that you have to jump over. It just makes for a really good day for you and the customer. So, you know, you can get straight to business, turn on the music, turn on TV or whatever, something real soft in the background so that you can still conversate with your customer. You don't want to have music blaring at the top of its, you know, volume button, and then your customer like want to say something to you and she got to pat you to get your attention. You know, oh, you got to remember that this is a professional setting. You want to make sure your setting is professional. You want to make sure your customers are comfortable. If they ask you to turn it up and they're the only one in the shop and they want to turn it up a little bit and it's their favorite song and they like that song, then have at it. But if it's a full service business where there's multiple people, you know, I know it might be your favorite song, but, you know, no, Sister Mary Claire, we're going to have to keep it at a low level because everybody might not like that specific music or genre of music that you're playing. So, especially if it's popping that booty and all that other stuff, everybody don't like that. So you want to just be mindful of that, okay? That's another big one. A lot of clients used to complain about, you know, when they would come in the salon and they're playing, you know, that kind of music or whatever. So I made it my duty to start making sure that I bought music that you could put in a CD player, as opposed, because the radio station these days play everything. They cussing and everything. So you want to find clean versions, or I'll put it on YouTube on clean, type in clean, and then let YouTube play with just, you know, clean versions of music in the background, so you're not offending your customers or anyone or a kid, or you don't want kids hearing stuff they shouldn't be hearing or whatever. But it's a lot. I have a lot to talk about, and I can talk for a long time. So YouTube is probably a good platform for me to be able to express and say and, you know, just do a whole lot of stuff. And I want to also do a bunch of tutorials on hair and just show you guys some of my tricks to the trades that I do. Like a lot of times people buy hair and stuff and they don't use it all. So they feel like, well, I didn't use it all, I just throw it away. You know, don't throw that hair away. You never know when you're going to need an extra tracker too. You always keep your hair. And I know my niece, she's getting into the industry herself. I can't wait for her to blow up and be big, because I know she is. She's got that personality and she'll be able to do some really good hair. I know she will. But, you know, I just want her, you know, like my niece and other up and coming people to see tricks to the trade and take those tricks and flip them, become creative, create new stuff. That's how the hair industry works. People have ideas, they find some way to get those ideas out, and then that's how we have new things that we can use to improve our services to customers and clients. So just everything that I know, I plan on sharing on YouTube. Everything that I've experienced, I plan on sharing on YouTube. So if you have questions, if you have a comment, I don't mind comments. If you're going to be rude and nasty, just like on anybody else's social platform or media, if you're going to be rude and nasty, don't post it, because I'm not going to respond to any rude or nasty comments. And if you have questions, I'll try to answer them. If you want to see me do something special, you know, let me know. If you want to see how I take lace fronts and use them as sew-ins, so that not the basic technique with the lace fronts, but I take the lace fronts and I break them down in pieces. So you might not want all of this to be a lace. I don't like how the lace fronts, everything is slicked. You know, the front is always slicked down because they don't know how to hide those edges and those lips. You know, if you don't have the right, I'll show you. I'll show you. I'm going to be doing a bunch of tutorials. I'm going to be bringing you a bunch of content. Again, if there's anything you want to see, anything you're curious and want to know about, if you want me to try something that you're not sure about or whatever, put it in the comments. Let me see what you got to say. Share it with me. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out to the next video. Thanks for watching.